The doctor has just listened to, a good doctor has listened to a tape, and he asks Jessica, what on earth possessed you to make this tape? And Jessica says, oh, I don't know, the angels came over me. Her husband's Jake's been in a coma for a year. What's on the tape, half of it, most of it, doesn't make any sense to her. From the 911 call to him being in that coma. And the doctor says, well, I'll look into things. I'll see if they did what they said they did. And yeah, Jake's coming out of that coma. Vim video, more honest world, because of the ever-present eyes and ears of technology. Get the devils on video, audio as well. These, which I had prepared with these, the Trump's phone gate 5s, and I printed out a couple of those. Got it sent on the way. It's on the way. It's going to take a week or so to get here, but it didn't take. When I uploaded this to Flickr about the insulin poisoning of the man telling you to check and post at 5, 911 flight 93, check and post at 5 for a decade without getting one single solitary call. Not one American checking their lifeline knowing it works all the time. And yes, Martha Alicia Meza prescribed insulin, which made me sick and built up over the year and made me sick. And this, Dignity Health ignored that and took part in our censorship. Frank and Alice are at the bedside of Amber, their small child, and the doctor is there from Dignity Health, and he doesn't have a pen. So Frank gives him a pen to jot some stuff down, and he walks off with it. And Alice says, is that pen of yours with the audio maker in it? And Frank says, yeah. I've heard bad things about Dignity Health and their hospitals. I want to make sure Amber's getting decent treatment. Oh, I got insulin poisoning and they ignored it at Glendale Memorial. You can just check and post in 5 with them to get the truth of their character. Paperwork, those who are a part of the insulin poisoning, I'm still undergoing it. Been 3 weeks. The PCP, does that mean personal care physician, prescribed that to me intentionally to cause distress. It took a while to build up. And this man right here, Rapetti like spaghetti, would not treat the poisoning and had an attitude the size of the Great Wall of China. Check and post in 5 with everyone at Glendale Memorial, every Dignity Health member. 424-229-4140. Ask them, why can't I reach John Mel Brady? When else will my family's lifeline not be allowed to work because of what you are actively taking part in, doing the opposite of your name and your profession? Get their reactions and post. A patient of Dignity Health, Glendale Memorial Hospital, is checking and posting in 5. He's trying to call me up, John Melton Brady, in front of a couple of employees, and he tells them all about John Melton Brady not getting a 93 check, a 911 flight 93 check in a decade of asking, and their active part in that. What is their active part in that? And one of the employees turns to the other and says, was that handsome man, wheelchair-bound man in our hospital that we were taunting? The one who kept saying, they told me you had competent doctors. We're in Waddell. Man, did I ever see truth. Check and post in 5 with dignity, left and right. So a Dignity Health executive is having a press conference and someone asked about John Melton Brady, and he says, "Oh, we warned him about his dangerous activity." And the reporter asked, "You mean his sugar intake?" And the representative says, "Oh no, his truth about America's hijacked lifelines. We're an arm of that religious, political, and business censorship." And yes, they ignored the insulin poisoning and the 10 years of me asking for a 9/11 Flight 93 check. You check and post in 5 with everything, with Dignity Health. Get them on video selling their souls to be a part of that cowardly Hussein, cowardly Trump placement. I'm Melton. John Melton Brady, I've been asking you for 93 checks. That's you checking your family's lifeline and making sure it works all the time for a decade, and I have yet to get one. Because I've been doing that, I could not get adequate health care from Dignity Health's Glendale Memorial. And I'm not saying I am saying the Good Samaritan is the only decent health care I've gotten in LA, in California, past decade. Now, I'm not saying that the folks at Dignity there were trying to badmouth the Catholics, but every time I looked out as I was in excruciating pain, not getting relief, all I saw was those guys, walking past, making the sign of the cross. It's my pumpkin. Today's Halloween. Last day of the month, and I've got my October 300 plus with the big 5s and the Mormons beware imagery, but I got it up there, sick as I am. Remember checking post and 5 before you come out here to California as a tourist. They don't know firemen, paramedic, ambulance drivers. You get sick out here, you're going to meet them. You need to know if they're actively a part in religious censorship in America. Ask about the man who's asked for a 9/11 Flight 93 check for over a decade, not gotten one. And yes, insulin poisoning. And this is a loaner wheelchair. Keep going after the screws on gold. Oh, gold's in this October. Set of Melton's imagery. Of course, I gotta. Do I have a Trump's phone gate in there? I gotta check. Make sure. Sometimes I'll forget to put it in the folder. It's definitely done for last month, September. If not, I'll put it in next month. Check and post in 5. Be a concerned American. When else will my phone not be allowed to work? What is your part in that? Certified mail to me, guys. I'm Melton, son of Carpenter Mary. Dad of Carpenter worked on skyscrapers, Mom Mary Ann. I'm the son of Carpenter Mary. I get to tell parables. Certified mail, not one bit of certified mail about the 93 taking out over a decade. Make that video. Whatever you get, we know get me. Those who are hijacking your calls to me are worried enough about it to alter your phone records covered up, so you get video proof of Hussein and Trump's phone gate. I don't approve of the buffoon arresting guy in there either. Truth is my favorite. Should be yours favorite too. Print out those 5s. Ask and answer Jesus' question. Is Barack Hussein Obama a terrorist? Me with my insulin poisoning and gold with his missing screws. Twice now. We know. You get the answer with your family's life. When you can't reach me right now, you have no idea when else your phone won't be allowed to work. Make a video of it. Be the reporter. Call me up in front of every reporter. Network news anchors to local unknown reporters. Make that video, post that video. Come see me in person. Have wit, we'll travel. Show me a perfect place to build Jesus as an excellent house. At least tell me what we need in that place to inspire the future and the present to greatness. 9/11, Flight 93, check-in post in 5. I'm John Milton Brady. I've been asking for 9/11 Flight 93 checks for over a decade. I've yet to get one. Make that video, post that video, whatever you get when you don't get me. Those hijacking calls to me for over a decade now are word enough about all your phone records covered up. And they're worried, pathetic in how worried they are. I got insulin poisoning because of that. But my wheelchair has been broken twice, my motorized wheelchair. There was people walking among us. Oh, the new 5's part of that insulin poisoning. Kayla is talking to her friend Leah, and she says, "You won't believe what happened. I was at a health fair, and they had this little kid dressed up as a doctor. I mean, a really little kid, stethoscope, all that stuff, white jacket. He stole a lady's purse. Right in front of everybody, he stole a lady's purse. He took off running. And you would think some of those adults there would be able to catch, a little kid like, no, they couldn't. He was just running with that purse. Funny as anything. Oh yeah, if you know Dignity Health, check-in post at 5 with every employee, every executive they got. And yeah, it's reference to their commercial. Before you go to a Dignity Health doctor, I'm assuming they're across the country. And before you come out here as a tourist to California. Yes, Martha Meads have prescribed me insulin. Tresiba insulin was built up. I think it was her little joke. She said it was slow acting. Built up all of this year until September, the past 3 weeks. This is October 8th. I've been tasting, I've been smelling insulin. And yes, before you send tourists, they left me to die in 2014 before I spent 70 plus days in a real hospital, the Good Samaritan, and then, yeah, they showed up with alcohol to take me to the incompetent doctors. See a vapor trail? A check-in post in 5. 424-229-4140. Be on the side of those driving the tanks, the jeeps, the jets. The side of children and truth. I'm John Milton Brady. I've been asking for a 9/11 Flight 93 check for over a decade. I've yet to get one. No certified mail, no non-certified mail. Those hijacking your calls to me are word enough about it to alter phone records to cover it up. Make that video of your hijacked lifeline, and yes, before you go to Dignity Health, ignored my insulin poisoning. As part of me asking for a decade and not getting one, before you come out here to California as a tourist, ask LA Fire Department paramedics, what's your part in that? What do you know about John Milton Brady not getting a 93 check in a decade? See a vapor trail? 9/11, Flight 93, check-in post in 5. You trying to call me? I'm Melton, John Milton Brady. I haven't got a 9/11 Flight 93 check that you reaching me with, and knowing that your phone works all the time. I haven't gotten one call in over a decade of asking. Be on the side of those driving the tanks, the jeeps, the jets, the side of children and truth. And yes, before you send your children to a Dignity Health doctor, you need this answer. What do you know about John Milton Brady asking for 93 checks for over a decade and not getting one?
and your incredibly bad treatment in his hospital, same for the LA Fire Department before you send your tourists out here. Wouldn't take me to decent medical treatment because of that 10 years.
The noise from the African Muslim Mormon apartment down below has been turned up from just a few minutes ago because I am preparing to upload those big files to Flickr. And just got to turn down a little bit right there. Checking post in 5 with what's a part of his harassment techniques, LA firefighter paramedics, and Dignity Health at Glendale Memorial. Checking post in 5, you can't reach me, you need to ask them what's their part. And me not getting I3 checking a decade.